So, welcome back to yet another Magic 15 Minutes. And this week, Nessa is joining me. So, welcome, Nessa.
Hi.
Hi. How you doing?
I'm good, thank you. Yeah.
Good. Lots of exciting things actually happening, and I know they are. So, but we're gonna dive straight in, okay? So, Nessa, do you want to share with people who you are and what you do?
Well, I'm Nessa Hubbard and I essentially knit. That's what I do, who I am. I'm a knitter. But I teach knitting and I make things. I also do crochet and I'm branching out into other crafts now as well.
Ooh,
Um, yeah, that's essentially what I do.
okay, fabulous. Okay, so I mean, in terms of then, because you're now on your pathway to setting up your business or businesses, aren't you?
Mm.
And so, as you see it, how will your businesses develop in terms of who you are and what you're going to be offering?
Um, So up until now, I've done live teaching and I mostly work for other people. I work for a couple of organizations that teach. No, one's a wool shop, one's a studio that does events. And I do voluntary work and run some knitting groups. And that's how I get out there and teach people how to knit. And what I'm in the process of doing is really setting up more of um, a knitting school, I guess you'd call it, but more of me being a knitting teacher rather than a knitter and more of and not a not a sample knitter, not a knitter, but more of a let's spread the skills around.
Amazing.
And ideally, what I really want to do is I want to have a space, a white space, they call it, a quivering space. Doing a master's, I know lots of academic terms. A quivering space where we all come together and sit and craft. It's basically a knitting group. Um, but it has many iterations of what we could do in this space. And that's my dream, is to have some kind of Debenhams on Oxford Street in London, full of crafters. That's my dream.
The size as well is okay for you? You'll be able to
Yeah,
fill it up?
the size of Debenhams, the whole of Debenhams, a
Perfect.
floor for knitting, a floor for painting, a floor for something else. You know,
So if they're watching, could they please lease it to you for free? Yeah?
yes,
That's it.
exactly.
That's
Yeah,
it. Yeah, we're not going to ask for much more.
no,
But they don't even know who you are at the moment, Nessa. So
no,
let's
they
find
don't
out.
yet.
Yeah, okay, yet. So there's so much they're going to learn about you. So tell me, I mean, you've got 15 minutes here. Tell me what you want to share in your 15 minutes.
What do I want to tell you? Um,
What do you want
well,
to share?
the one thing that I always miss out when I'm telling people about what I do is about some of the things that I've done. So I always say, "Oh, I teach at knitting shows and I run a well-being group and all these like worthy things." I never tell you about the fun things I've done. Okay, I never tell you about the time that I taught knitting at the after show party at the Brits. Okay, that's fun.
Wow. Wow.
Teaching
Yeah.
a load of drunk people to knit. That's great fun. Or the fact that I taught knitting at Camp Festival. Um, or the fact that I made somebody a pair of knitted underpants for their Secret Santa.
Yeah, you see, and I think that you hit the nail right on the head there, Nessa, because a lot of what we do in life, we fail to look back and realize that we are actually, where we are on our path, don't we?
Yeah,
And that is so key because I think in order to be able to understand how we go forward or where we go forward to, we need to understand what we've actually done.
yeah, yeah.
So,
Um, when I did your Biz Clarity challenge, when I started answering all the questions in that, so it was, I don't know, however many years ago, 6, 7, 8 years ago, I did a course with the job centre on how to set up your own business. I know how to set up my own business, but anyway, I did the course because then they gave you some money and they supported you for 6 months and stuff. So I did the course and got the money. And so when I did your Biz Clarity challenge, I went back to that business plan and I looked at what I said I was going to do, and things changed. I went to university in that time, and I didn't do as much teaching, and I certainly didn't do one aspect of it was I was going to make kits and sell them on Etsy. I didn't do that. I've got all the yarn. I still could.
Now it's
But
called a private stash.
yeah. But you know, and but then when I look at how my business has grown over the years, I have still followed that path. I just didn't realize I was following that path because I never really looked back. And doing that challenge made me look back and realize, oh my gosh, I have done it. I have been growing. I am moving forward in what I wanted to do back then. Now, I've got worms in my brain. Now, we both know somebody who's got popcorn brain.
Yeah.
I've got worm brain. And these ideas, they pop up, you know, they're all here going on. And so I felt that I'd gone off on many different tangents in the last however many years. But apparently I haven't. I have stuck to a basic path, and it is building and it is growing, and I am getting somewhere. And taking that time to look back like that and realize that it is happening, it was just incredible to see that and to go, oh, wow, look what I've done.
Yes. Yes.
And if I've done that in 7 years, what can I do in the next 7 years?
Exactly.
Which is how long I've got a child for, because I have a 12-year-old, and obviously at 18, theoretically,
yeah, they don't go anywhere, trust me.
I know they don't go anywhere, but theoretically he'll be independent. You know,
yeah.
Where will I be then? Where will my business, if my business doubles between now and then, which I hope it'll do more than double between now and then, but if it doubles between now and then, perfect.
Yeah.
You know?
And that's it. In order to be able to know, and people say that you shouldn't look back, but I think that sometimes you do need to look back, but not kind of get stuck in the looking back, but give you that belief that you can do things, you are accomplishing things, you are learning things. And then how did it make you feel when you realized you were on track?
I was amazed, because I think of all the failures, all the clients I let down. You know, there's always a client. There was one particularly nasty client in the last 12 months, and that sits in your head. You know, this thing that sits in your head, and you just think you're rubbish, and then you have a look and you think, I'm not rubbish. Look what I've done.
Yeah.
Look what I've been doing for years.
Yeah. Yeah,
you know?
well done to you. No, and I remember the message actually you sent me when you done it, and you were like just completely blown away. And I think that's the magic actually of the Biz Clarity Challenge, because it does kind of give you that clarity for where you are today, standing exactly still, and then also to be able to believe in yourself to give you that boost going forward, because it's sometimes hard to give ourselves the belief that whatever we want to do we can achieve. And it's no point. I think that there's a huge thing in terms of nobody else can tell you that yes you can do it and yes you can go forward. That needs to come from within. You need to give yourself that, and once you give yourself that, well, then all sorts of magic stuff starts to happen. So good. That also lights me up, so thank you.
I'm glad.
So you know, what gives you that that tingly happy feeling? I'm just wondering.
What I love is when I teach a class. So I start a class with 8 people who can't knit or crochet, and I end a class with 8 people who can. And I call it birthing knitters or birthing crocheters, because I put a lot of energy into those classes. And at the end, I have these people who can go out and they've got a new skill. I love that.
You put a disclaimer on the bottom that you're going to now start collecting hordes of yarn, okay? And you can't now blame me for that.
I tell them. I do tell them.
Okay, that's good. Yeah.
I give them all the information they need, including the fact that they won't be able to count to 4 once they leave the room, and that they will have to go out and buy all the needles and all the yarn in the world, and they won't use it. I tell them the complete truth. I'm very honest.
Absolutely. That's great. Yeah, you see, and this is why I'm still resisting not learning. So what advice would you give to someone that's sitting exactly in your shoes? And Nessa, it might be okay for others to sit there and go, but look at her, she's doing what she wants to do. I know that she loves knitting, she's the same as me, but it's okay for her. What advice would you give to somebody that that says it's okay for you, but what about for them?
Oh, do you know what? It's not okay for me. Trust me, I've had my hardships to get here. I've been for the last he's 12, so for the last 10 years I have been a single mum. I have fought battles. My child has special needs. I have no man who goes out and earns a salary and puts food on the table for me so that I can be a lady with a lifestyle job. What are they called? Those little lifestyle businesses that people have. I don't have one of those. This job has to pay me, has to put food on my table. You know, it has to pay the rent.
Yeah.
This, whilst I love what I do, I absolutely love what I do. This is my life.
Yeah.
So people, you can do it. You can make this work. And oh gosh, 9 to 5 is not for everyone.
No.
I don't believe, I did 9 to 5 for a very long time, and I just don't believe in the 9 to 5 society if it's not for you. If
No.
it's for you, wonderful. Please go and do the 9 to 5 jobs that need doing.
Yes. Somebody needs to. Yeah.
Yeah, somebody needs to, but it's not me.
Yeah.
I can't imagine
Amazing.
anything worse than getting on the tube or the bus every day anymore.
No.
Oh.
And I think that's it. You know, sometimes not everybody is made the same.
No.
You know, and we all have aspirations of doing something different. We can have the best work-life balance in our lives, okay, but the grass will always look green on the other side of something. And that's because I think that if you're always looking for something else, it means that you're not quite balanced yet.
Yeah.
Okay. And I think that when you wake up and you enjoy your life and you're kind of like, oh my God, I can't wait to, you know, for me, actually, I'm like scrolling through my calendar. Okay. Oh, I've seen this person today on Zoom, this person today on Zoom. I'm helping them with their business, helping that with, you know, but I also know that I can do the school run. I also know that I can cook dinner every day. I also know that I'll be here every evening.
Exactly.
And sometimes, you know, sometimes it's more, we don't necessarily go after a need of, I want to make sure I've got that perfect work-life balance because I want to be here tidying up after children and cooking dinner every day. But in order for our own sanity and our own self-peace, okay, we need to know that we've got something that works for us that's completely flexible around everything.
Yeah. 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 And that's it. I've not had to miss a single sports day, school play, anything through primary school because my work fits around it completely.
Yeah.
Because I can carry my work around with me. I choose when I teach to a degree. I get told when the classes are and then I say, yeah, all right then. I just say yes to everything. That's not to say I'm not constantly working all the hours there are. I work every day of the week.
Yeah. Yeah.
But my work most days of the week involves sitting on the sofa and knitting or dragging myself down into the West End of London and standing up in front of 8 people and teaching them to knit and coming out buzzing.
Yeah. And that's it. It wouldn't be everybody's idea of a perfect lifestyle.
No.
But Nessa, I think if they're sitting here watching this interview, okay, thinking she's just a knitter, okay, there's no way I'd be able to do it. I think that is testament to the fact that it doesn't matter who you are, what your background is, okay, or how you feel, okay, everything is possible.
Yeah.
So,
I think,
yeah.
for me, the thing is that I could have had a really rubbish day. Come 6 o'clock when I have to leave the house and go to work, I know that when I go to work, I'm going to come home in a good mood. And people can genuinely say that about the jobs that they do.
Exactly.
I'm home in a good mood.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think that's really important.
Yeah. And that's key, isn't it? So that's great. So yeah. So give us a fun fact and just don't hold back, okay? Give us a fun fact to make Nessa normal. Come on then.
Make Nessa normal. Well, I'm not sure any of my fun facts make me normal, and I did get stuck when I was trying to think of one. So I asked my 12-year-old for a fun fact, and he said, "You're just like Alexa. You sit on the sofa all day, and we ask you things, and you tell us." And I love that. I thought that sums me up completely. You can ask me anything, and I'll probably know something about it.
There you
and if
go.
I don't, I know how to work Google really well.
I think, you know, that's oh gosh, you know, yeah, Nessa, the fountain of knowledge of, you know, everything. So yeah, there you go, perfect.
Yeah.
So what is your plan for this year?
Oh gosh, my plan for this year. Oh yes. So I've always had people talk about earning a residual income, and in the past, it's always been through these what we call in the UK party plan, what they call in the US direct selling. I think we call it direct selling here now. You know, oh, if you get yourself into this direct selling and you get yourself a team, and then they all sell for you, and you'll get a residual income.
Yeah.
Yay! And it never ever sat right with me, never. And now I know that I can set myself up with my business, my style, my teaching, and I can set up my business to earn me a residual income selling what I do, which is teaching, knitting, crochet, other crafts.
That's amazing. That's amazing.
That's
Yeah. That's amazing. And something that you told me, and you said that everyone talks about it, but you're going to go do it. I love that.
Yeah.
You know, I love that because, and actually, I'm a keen believer of, you know, you need to be putting it out there. You need to say what and when and how and plan for it. And Nessa, everything that I've seen with you has always been the plan. That's it. Let's do this. Let's go and take it. I think us working together over the last few months, actually, in terms of what you've been trying to achieve, has been, well, monumental. Actually, the huge steps you've been taking. But you're also taking a degree at the same time. Okay, let's.
Yeah.
It's like layers of complexity going on here, okay? So, but
Yeah.
you don't hold back. You're a constant learner. You keep going. You keep doing it. You know, and I just think that's amazing. So, you know, whatever you know, your plan to build that residual income, I don't not see that for you because I just know that everything that you kind of set out to do, you do. Nothing is a problem for Nessa.
This is the plan, the hope.
No
the
problem,
dream.
Nessa. I love that.
No problem, Nessa. That should
No
be my
problem,
website.
Nessa.
No problem, Nessa. Bring me your problems. I'll find you a solution.
So Nessa, I want people to come and find you and not just kind of go through me. So you do have a freebie which people can download, don't you? So do you want to just have a quick chat about this?
Oh yes, how to make a slip knot.
Ooh.
The very first step in all your knitting and crochet is how to make a slip knot.
Okay.
That is quite tricky. So I have created a little freebie that will take you through step by step of making a slip knot. Very simple to follow so that you can make your slip knot.
Yep, and you can get that for free from Nessa. Now, even if you are not a knitter or a crocheter and you don't care anything about a slip knot, I think if you are enjoying Nessa's story, okay, and you want to know more about her, I reckon you should go and get your slip knot anyway, okay? Hand it over to a friend, and then continue to read the nurture sequence of emails that's going to come straight after those, okay, actually, which is where you get to learn more about Nessa. So if you've thought that this little 15-minute segment, well, slightly over now, has been, you know, so amazing, okay, I want you to go and read about this woman's story, okay, who she is and why she's here and her plans for the future and kind of what's going on and what she's got available to offer, because there may be something there for you. So Nessa, where can people find you? Instagram, Facebook, where are you?
Instagram, Facebook and Twitter. I'm Nessa Hubbard.
There you go. That's easy, nice and easy. Okay.
Yeah.
And yeah, I just think that it's just now for me to say thank you so much to Nessa. Please go and, you know, jump over to the other link that's attached to this. Go and grab your freebie from Nessa. Go and read all about her. Go and join her on her social channels. Go and give her a thumbs up and let her know that you're there. There's nothing more than just a thumbs up without actually any wording attached to it. It's quite strange. And then, you know, just say hello, really, and just introduce yourself. So, Nessa, thank you so much for this segment of the Magic 15 Minutes.
You're
and
so
we'll
welcome.
chat again soon. Okay?
Yeah. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.